We're going to talk about fall hunting because that's not something that's discussed a lot. It's because people don't know how to do it. They think it's like spring, and it's not.
Yeah.
Fall turkey hunting is like a whole different. It is a different animal.
Yeah.
You're hunting the same bird, but it's a whole different behavior. You know who the best teacher is? That wild turkey.
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching, for listening. We've got a great show lined up for you today. It's all about fall turkey, and I'm excited to have Matt Dale in the studio, Don.
Yeah, it's kind of like old times, about a year and a half ago we had Matt in and learned a lot about turkey hunting, and it's going to be fun concentrating on the fall turkey hunting this time.
Yeah, Matt gave us a call and he said, you know what, it'd be fun to do a fall show and we'll be in your area, and most time everybody's talking about spring turkey hunting.
Yeah, right.
Fall is not discussed very much, so I was like, yeah, come on in, let's do it. It'd be fun. There is a fall season for turkeys in Tennessee, and Matt's going to do some of that this year, but I'm excited to talk about it. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Fall turkey hunting is just a whole different turkey season, and a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
So I hope I can help somebody to. If you don't deer hunt, you ain't bow hunting. Hey, get that shotgun out, throw you some shells in it, and you can be successful killing a big old gobbler in the fall.
Yeah, you do have an opportunity, and we'll touch on those season dates and all that throughout this show. But yeah, it's you can jump in there with archery or shotgun in the fall here in Tennessee. Don, do you want to cover a radio station or highlight some, or just thank them? Overall,
just radio in general. We appreciate our partners so much and helping us get the word out there, both with the WildCast Extra that airs 5 days a week on a lot of stations, and the weekly version, the full version that airs at least once a week on so many stations around the state. We appreciate them very much.
Yeah, couldn't do it without those partners out there. Very much appreciate that. And then if you don't listen to the radio on your drive, hopefully you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, right.
iTunes, Stitcher, iHeart, all those channels out there. It's picked up on most podcasting platforms.
Yeah, wherever you listen to podcasts, pretty much you can get WildCast.
Yeah. Yep, and I've confirmed it. You can say, Alexa, play Tennessee WildCast podcast, and it comes up. So
there you go.
That's pretty cool. All right, well, let's jump in, and first I just want to introduce the folks. If they haven't heard from you, listened to your stuff, heard you on our show, just introduce who Matt Dale is in Dale Outdoors.
I've been turkey hunting since I've been about 17 years old. So I'm I'm 45 now. So quite a long time.
Got some experience.
Love to spring turkey hunt. Love deer hunt. I like anything. In fact, I'm going September 1st dove hunting. So
all right,
I just like it all.
Yeah.
But turkey hunting is my passion, and I got to share a hunt with Jason. A little about a year and a half ago. Killed a beautiful gobbler.
That was a fun hunt.
Popular on YouTube.
It was very popular. Yeah. And then, so I got a YouTube channel, a turkey hunting hunting, but mostly it's turkey hunting. That's what I'm kind of known for. It's Dale Outdoors. If you want to check it out on YouTube, Dale Outdoors, and my Facebook page. There's links, and my Instagrams, all of it on link to the YouTube page. So, but my channel's a little different. I mean, I've got hunts on there like our hunts, and I've got kills on there, but mine's more toward the educational part because that's just something a lot of people don't do.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like, I could go out there and we could set in a blind, and we could get in a field, decoys out there, and have a gobbler come in and shoot him and high five, and go back to the cabin and eat and eat a steak and talk about it and video it. And that's all right if people want to do that, but there's so much of it. Yeah. But nobody's teaching how to do this.
Right, yeah.
And so every spring, just the channel just grows leaps and bounds, and we're up to like 33,000 now, and I've only been doing this like 4 years.
Man, awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So, it's like 4 years just doing this. So it's went from nothing to about 33,000. It just keeps growing every year. just all kinds of people though has told me, and I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, but people say, man, I've struggled so much killing turkeys until I found your channel, and now I'm killing turkeys or tagging out or killing my first gobbler. I get so many first gobbler pictures
neat.
every year from kids, dads with their kids, and they're like, man, if you're ever in an area, we want to meet you and just shake your hand. But if you want to learn how to spring turkey hunt, you come over to Dell Outdoors. And but we're going to talk about fall hunting because that's not something that's discussed a lot.
Yeah. I know we were talking earlier. A lot of times we'll throw out the dates for fall turkey hunting, but like we said, we hadn't had any techniques or ideas for how to approach that season.
Well, it's just like I just moved back home because I'm originally from Virginia, and I just moved back. I was in Missouri for 10 years. Well, I was in Missouri when I met y'all.
Yeah.
And so I just moved back home this past February. And but Missouri has one of the best fall turkey hunting seasons in the entire United States. But last year I looked, and out of the whole state of Missouri, that goes from October 1st to October 31st, you kill 2 turkeys, either sex, there was only like 3,200 tags sold statewide.
Wow.
And used to, it was, like huge. But with the rise of bow hunting and the popularity of it, longer seasons, people's just got away from it. But a lot of reasons is because people don't know how to do it. They think it's like spring, and it's not.
Yeah.
Fall turkey hunting is like a whole different. It is a different animal.
Yeah.
You're hunting the same bird, but it's a whole different behavior.
It's a whole different time of their life. It's
totally different.
They're not in the same patterns and doing the same things they do in the spring.
The biggest thing, and when I do lots of seminars and stuff. So when I do seminars, there's always somebody that don't deer hunt, but they have a season. They don't bow hunt. Maybe they rifle hunt, but they don't bow hunt in October, which is where most fall turkey seasons happen. And they'll say, hey, tell us about fall turkey hunting, because we like fall turkey, but it's just we don't know how to do it right. And the first thing I would say about fall turkey hunting is always remember, in the spring, it's the sex drive, the mating. You're in the mating season. So it's gobbler to hen, hen to gobbler. In the fall, always remember, it's gobbler to gobbler, hen to hen. The gobblers are batched up together. So if you want to kill a gobbler, you got to sound like a gobbler.
Okay.
And if you want to, if you just want to kill a turkey, I've always said, if you want to get a kid involved in turkey hunting, take them fall turkey hunting, because in most states, a lot of states, and not Tennessee, but in a lot of states, you can kill either sex. Like Virginia, you can kill either sex. So if you just want to go out and kill a turkey, it's pretty easy. I ain't gonna say it's simple, but it's pretty easy to go and call a hen. Because the hens are so bunched up. I mean, I think. A few years ago, I was fall turkey hunting. I think I called, and this was in Missouri, I called 30 in. That was like a sea of black that just came through the woods. It was like 30 hens that just came in. And but they're so grouped up. Now, gobblers, when we're talking about longbeards, they're grouped up too, but it's going to be smaller groups. It's going to be like, 4, 5, 6. If you get 6, that's a big group, but most it's 3, 4 gobblers run together. But you want to sound like a gobbler to attract the gobbler, because they want to be bachelored up.
Yeah.
It's the pecking order. In the spring, you want to sound like the ladies.
Yeah. Yep.
So sound like a guy in the fall, sound like and sound like a lady in the spring.
Well, let's touch on the seasons real quick. For those of you who are listening and watching, the fall season in Tennessee is September 24th through October 28th for archery, and then it jumps October 31st through November 4th for archery, and that's the same as the deer archery-only season. And you can run with a shotgun and archery October 15th through the 28th. So that's your dates, and then your bag limits for is 1 bearded turkey per county. 1 bearded turkey per county. So just make sure you know that. And there are some exceptions. There's a few counties that aren't open to fall turkey. So make sure you check your guide and know what those counties are.
Yeah.
But that's what you're going to be looking for, and that's the dates you're going to be out there trying to chase them. And I know you've said that you're you're planning on getting out there this year in Tennessee and going after them too. So
I've already got 4 days. It's just, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm this huge fall turkey hunter that does it every year. My schedule, where this has kind of become a living now, my schedule's so busy in bow season. So by the time bow season starts, I'm on the road hunting, and I just don't have a chance to fall hunt a lot because I go somewhere deer hunt. I have some 5-6 days to get something done, and I just don't have a chance. Now, the last fall gobbler I killed was in 2017. I went on a fall turkey hunt. It got hot. It was in Missouri. It got so hot that week. The deers wasn't doing nothing, so I just grabbed shotgun. I just grabbed a box call and a mouth call and took off. And it took me 2 days to find them. But I called a group of 4 longbeards, all longbeards. Called all 4 of them up a road. They come running. They didn't walk. They ran to me just like they looked like a road runner, in the cartoon. And he ran right up on top of me. I shot the lead one. He was 18 pounds. So it's the same type longbeard that's in the spring.
Yep.
He's got hooks. He's got spurs. He's got a big beard, and. But here's the thing that I would say for all those that's already wanting to turn this off and go, well, I'm not interested in fall because I'm bow hunting. Well, listen, here's the thing I've said. A good fall turkey hunter will make a great spring hunter, and here's why. You learn how to hunt turkeys when they ain't gobbling. Mm-hmm. How many times in the spring, all of us spring hunters, you've hit them days where they ain't saying nothing, right?
Yeah.
They ain't saying nothing, and you'll walk your tail off trying to find, and it's nothing.
And when you find them, you start calling at them. They won't talk back.
They won't talk back. So all this information on hunting turkeys when they're not gobbling and strutting and screaming back at you, you get all that education in the fall. Now turkeys will gobble in the fall. Now I've been out in rifle season, deer hunting in November, and be so cold you see your breath, and it sounds like April. Now they don't all the time. It's just particular mornings they'll have where they sound like April, and you're like, man, what is going on here? But they're not gobbling much in the fall because they're not mating. They're not trying to attract a hen. Mm-hmm. But they still do vocalization every day. It's just different. And we're going to talk about that in the next episode, so you make sure to stay.
Yeah, this is part 1, guys.
Yeah, this is part 1. So we're going to get into a lot of the calling in the next one. But this is where you have to master gobbler yelping. Gobbler yelping is one of the most deadliest, probably the most deadliest call in the fall. Gobblers will yelp just like a hen. It's a little different, but a lot of times a guy will be out in the springtime, and he'll hear a turkey yelping and think it's a hen. And sometimes it ain't a hen. It's a longbeard. It's got a 10, 11-inch rope, and he's yelping. And we know Jake yelps. That they got that short, kind of that Jake yelp. So turkeys do a lot of vocalization. Now, when I say it's going to make you a better spring hunter, here's another reason. You will learn so much about turkey vocalization from hens and gobblers. And I've always said that's the best teacher. Yeah, we got some great callers that's winning championships.
But they ain't birds.
But they ain't birds. And you know who the best teacher is? That wild turkey. Yeah. He or she is the best teacher out there. And you will hear so much crazy vocalization that you never get to hear in the spring. Because in the springtime, what do you mostly hear? Yelps, clucks, purrs, alarm putts. I've heard that a few times. Alarm putts, getting out of here. But in the fall, man, turkeys they're just so vocal. And how many times you been out deer hunting? And it just sounds like, what in the world is these turkeys doing?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. And so by learning all that vocalization and learning how to they're doing that stuff in the spring too. It's just you don't hear it as much because we're focused primarily on that, calling a certain way. But in the fall, it's just so different, and that's why you'll become a better spring hunter. I will say this, a lot of times we think that the spring, because that's where most of your turkey hunting is done, statewide. That's where most of your turkey hunting is done in the spring. But it ain't the original season. The original season was fall turkey hunting back in the 50s and 60s. Our grandpas and our dads, they were fall turkey hunting. Okay. Because the spring wasn't even a thing yet. That didn't happen until about the 60s or maybe late 50s. Back years ago, I'm talking about years ago, when there wasn't a lot of turkeys, And when they had, kind of guys that were turkey hunting, they were fall turkey hunters. And you know why them old timers in the 70s and 80s were killers when everybody else wouldn't? Because they already had all this education.
They had the knowledge
about how to find turkeys, how to call turkeys when they wasn't gobbling, how to hunt turkeys by their sign. So you get all that information by that fall. So I've always said a good fall hunter will make a superb or a fantastic spring hunter because he's already got, like now and people say, oh, you're a great turkey hunter. Well, I don't know about that, but when turkeys ain't gobbling, man, this was a quiet year. I don't know about y'all, but it was quiet. I mean, everywhere I went, it was just like, where is the world?
It was kind of like deer hunting at this point.
Yeah, man, it was. I mean,
back.
I hunted like 6 or 7 states, and every state I went to, it was just it was terrible. I mean, turkeys was there. It's just they wasn't gobbling much. Well, people was getting discouraged all around me, especially at home. They was getting discouraged. Well, turkeys ain't gobbling. Turkeys ain't gobbling. They just ain't, something's wrong. I said, there ain't nothing wrong. They're turkeys being turkeys. When turkeys don't gobble, I've said it, in our spring episode we did, hunt them anyway. Look, they're still there.
Yeah.
But people get discouraged when they don't hear that bird firing off, gobbling back at them. But if you're a good fall turkey hunter, you're like, I don't care if they gobble or not. I'll go find them anyway. I'll go find them and hunt them. And that's true. And where I grew up fall turkey hunting a lot, and because my dad, he fall turkey hunted a bunch. So I grew up around it. Well, and that's kind of the way he was. He didn't care if they gobbled or not. He gonna go kill them anyway, and he would. Yeah. But a lot of these old timers, that's how they become such good spring hunters when the spring season opened and become a thing. But I don't know why. I guess it's the rise of deer season and the longer bow seasons. It's just not popular anymore, and it's sad because if you are a dedicated spring hunter, I would by all means, if you're listening to this, take you 4 or 5 days. Because for me, there's always that. I don't know. Some people call it a lull. Some people call it the hot October weather that comes in, shuts everything down. You can't get a deer on its feet for nothing. It's hot, muggy.
Yeah.
In them days, don't sit at the house.
Yeah.
Get you a shotgun, take off, or a bow, whatever. Just take it because you can learn so much fall turkey hunting.
Well, how does it differ on public versus private? Is it you think birds going to act different, or
No.
what's some different techniques that you think, hunting a piece of property maybe you don't see very much, or?
Well, we all know public's gonna get more pressure.
We're gonna get a little
from
bit,
bow
yeah.
hunters.
Yeah.
People out bow hunting, hanging stands, making racket. In the fall, now again, you're not going to go out there and stand on a ridge somewhere and hoot like an owl or cut real loud and he going to gobble back at you. Maybe 1 in a million times that might happen, but in the fall you're not looking for that. You're looking for sign first of all. And again, this goes back to what I said about the spring. A lot of guys go in or not gobbling in the spring and they get discouraged because they hear turkeys. But if the turkeys are there, you know how you find them? Sign. The sign. Go back to the basics. Go back to the sign. And fall turkey hunters know that. So they go into a place and they go, oh, well, I don't care. I'll find them anyway. Because they hunt them by the sign. Scratching, the dusting bowls, the roost sites, all that. They'll find that. And they'll sit there and hunt them because them turkeys are there. Something made that.
Right.
And that's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
If the sign is there, whether it's a buck, a turkey, if the sign's there and it's fresh, they're somewhere around.
You think more than likely they're going to come back to that same
and they're
spot?
going to come right back because where are they going to go? I mean, unless you run them out of the county, where are they going to go? That's their home.
That's their area, yeah.
That's their area. Do you know I know we're not talking about deer hunt, but do you know how there's been studies in the recent years of how much a mature buck even goes? He's got a very small home core. And they'll watch one buck for a solid year, and he may not even go 2 miles in the rut and everything. So
and you never see him sometimes.
But you never see No, you never see him. But turkeys are the same. But the good thing about turkeys, either in the fall or the spring, they're vocal. They're vocal, and you're going to know they're there by listening to them. But if they're not saying nothing, find the sign. Don't just go out there and listen for find the sign. So if you're hunting public, find the sign. If you're hunting private, find the sign. Start at food sources. They got to eat. What's a turkey do? Spring, fall. What they do? Roost. wake up, fly down, poop, pee, eat,
and have babies.
And I mean, what do they do?
Yeah, same thing all year round.
It's not like they sit there and go, well, let's make these hunters no, they don't think like that. So you find the food source, you find the roost sites, you find where they're at and where they're spending the majority of the time. But you'd be surprised, and I know it sounds elementary, but you'd be surprised how many spring hunters, they don't go on sign, they go on sound. And if they go out and get in the car, and they ain't gobbling, they're ready to go down the road and start another. They're just ready to go. But you could do that for days and not ever kill a turkey. But if you'll slow down and find the sign, and if you'll do that in the fall, you already got an education how to do that come April. So again, I don't know why people just overlook it, because it's very important. But find the food source. Public land, it might be, if it's real hardwoods, might be acorns or might be, berries or something. But I guarantee you most on public is going to be bordered right around that private where the ag.
Okay. Yeah.
So just, don't get over on the private, but they can't do nothing if you're close to it,
Yeah.
So just find them. If the sign, you'll find a lot of scratching up old fence rows. They might be feeding over on Farmer Jones on the private, but a lot of times you call the whole flock right over on the private.
Yeah.
So or public. So walk the outside perimeters, look for sign, look for scratching on private. If you got to worry about it, well, it's common sense. Go to fields. Go to trail cams too. Don't forget about trail cams. Put some trail cams out. If you're seeing a group of turkeys, well, duh, get in there and hunt them because they're there.
Yeah.
And one reason I'm hunting in Tennessee this year for fall turkey was last bow season. I get to hunt very much for bow season down here, but man, this one place I've got, just every day. It was almost every other day. He'd get the landowner. He's got one of them cameras that send it to your phone.
Oh yeah.
One of those cellular things.
Uh-huh.
And he just send me pictures of big old longbeards and jakes and hens and just big old. And I thought, man, where are these turkeys coming? He said they're here all the time, all winter and fall long. They're just making the awfulest racket in the world. And I said, really? So we got this one, and it wasn't just one picture. It was several pictures of different days of this one group of gobblers that had like 5 in a bunch. Every one of them long bears run together.
Yeah.
And I was going, well, he's like, I don't know how to hunt them in the fall. I said, well, okay. So I got about 4 days to hunt.
Good deal.
That's awesome. Yeah. So he's gonna let you come and
yeah, I told him, I
take
said,
a crack at it.
how many fall turkey videos are out there where somebody's calling gobblers to kill them? Not very many. So I think it'd be a good video. It'd be a good educational too.
Yeah, and it'll be a Tennessee turkey.
It'd be a Tennessee.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's cool. Well, before we run out of time on this show, like I said, we're going to come back and talk about calling on the next segment. So come back next week for the next show. But just remind people, September 24th through October 28th is the archery season, and then it takes a break for shotgun archery October 15th through the 28th if you want to run out there with a shotgun. And then October 31st to November 4th is archery only, and it runs right along with that deer season, and it's one bearded bird per
So
county.
when's the bow season?
So bow season is September 24th through October 28th.
So that actually opens before deer season.
No, that runs same as the deer archery only.
So when's deer season open? I thought it was October.
You can put me on the spot. We'll flip back here in a little.
I thought it
That's
was
why we got our
October.
Hey the Dandy guide. Yeah. So the August hunt just passed, and then September 24th is the opening of archery.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so I get to hunt. Oh, I thought I was going to have to wait till October.
No, you got it.
Man, that's like 3 weeks away.
It's going to be here
Yeah.
before you know it.
All right.
So, but yeah, I'm excited about deer season. Now you got me fired up about turkey season. Well, we've kind of touched on a lot of this. They're different. They're different in the fall and the
Yes.
spring, but they're also the same. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but
Lots.
Um,
Remember the biggest thing, hen to hen, gobbler to gobbler. And we're going to be talking about how to call longbeard, since it's a bearded turkey in Tennessee, how to call specifically longbeards. Killing the turkey, as far as a hen, is pretty easy. You just go out there and kiki a few times and sound like a little lost turkey, and the whole flock will usually come try to find you. But a longbeard is a whole different story. But they're easy. I mean, you can still be successful killing them.
Yeah. So you said pecking order.
Yeah.
What is the pecking order? I mean, you said they're running together, gobbler, gobbler, hen, but what's the pecking order?
Well, the pecking order is all year long. I mean, you even in the spring, you got a pecking order. That's why they're fighting for the hens. That's
Right.
why
Okay.
And the hens fight each other for the, So turkeys 365 days a year have a pecking order. But in the fall, they're running together, but there's always a boss gobbler. There's always a boss hen all year long. Sometimes, and it's been documented, sometimes the boss gobbler, if he survives the spring, come fall, that gobbler that's with him now will whoop him and become the boss. And he'll actually become the sub. That he was it's kind of, but they're always it's always a dominance thing. So you want to play on that in the fall because they're running together. You want to be the new boy in town. You want to be the new guy that shows up, and that's where you got to learn to jake yelp. You got to learn to gobbler yelp. You don't go out there with a gobbler shaker and say, "Oh, I'm going to sound like a gobbler." I mean, that I don't know. Anything's possible, I guess, but they're not really doing that. What they are doing is every day they're yelping at each other. It's so simple to do. We'll talk about it. How much time we got?
I got a few minutes.
Okay.
Minute and a half.
Now, next week we'll go into this. But all you're doing, in case you don't catch next week's episode, gobbler yelping is so simple. Any idiot can do it because I can do it. And I'm pretty much about the biggest idiot there is. But it's very simple. I like to do it with a mouth call or a box call. A box call, in my opinion, is the best call to do a gobbler yelp. And all you're doing is you're just lengthening out your yelps. Let me show you. Okay, here's a hen yelp that we do spring. Okay. It's kind of but a gobbler yelp, it's lower and it's longer. It draws it out, so it's more like. Hear that? You're just lengthening out your yelps. They know the difference.
Okay.
They know the difference. So, gobbler yelping and kiki, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. But a lot of good calls you can do in the spring or fall that'll bring that big old gobbler, just like the spring, right up to you.
Awesome. Yeah, we left them hanging there with a little bit.
Yeah.
A little of that call in there.
Little tease. Yeah. Tune in for the next one for sure.
Yeah, so make sure you come back. This is Tennessee WildCast. We are very excited to have Matt Dell in the studio. Dell Outdoors on YouTube. He's got over 33,000 followers or subscribers. It's just very awesome, and we're just glad he's here in Tennessee.
Yeah,
doing some
welcome
hunting
back
in Tennessee. Yeah. So passed through town and gave us a call, and here we are. So
Sure.
that's how you determine their behavior habits and try to find them in the fall. We're going to tell you how to call them in the fall next episode.
I've also got some fall turkey instructions on YouTube, so just go over to Dell Outdoors. So I've done
Dell
a few.
Outdoors. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is Tennessee WildCast. We thank you for watching, for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.